if I was to start being a coach again, this is what I'd do differently. The answer is nothing. I've been a coach now for 13 years. I've achieved over 500 plus transformations with everybody from doctors to people who work in Tesco as sales staff to teachers to athletes. And the key thing that I really think helped me propel in my career and why you all may want to follow my journey and listen to me is the education I received at the start of my coaching journey. And I do believe education to be the forefront of what every coach should be striving to get more of, improve their knowledge, improve their ability to communicate. And that's why for me personally, my educational knowledge really came from a training perspective. And I love training. I'm obsessed over training. I want to get the extra 1% out of every single rep. And it's been an obsession of mine ever since I started being a coach and ever since I was really in school when I was playing sports in high school all the way through to sixth form and then university. I love training and I love bettering myself, and that's why I've really doubled down on everything when it comes to training mechanics, philosophy, physiology, and understanding what works essentially. And I have got my own point of view on what works, and this is something that I wouldn't change because it's backed up of years of experience and me just nerding out on this shit. So I do believe in reverse banding. I do believe in making sure profiles are matching when it comes to resistance, torque, and strength profiles. I do think that's the most efficient way to train. And this is why if you are people who really love training and want to get the most out of every single rep that you do, this is why you should be following me on my journey. Because my coaching career started from a young age of round about, say, 15, 16, when I started coaching teams to play in sports, but then it really transitioned quite heavily over into university when I started becoming really addicted to the gym. And instead of going to university lectures, I was going to the gym instead, and I was going to the gym way too much. So I was somebody who was potentially going into the gym 7 days a week, doing long distance runs, training every day, and I just loved it essentially. My granddad, who unfortunately passed away a couple of months, well, it's about probably nearly a year ago now, not even a couple of months ago, he got me a PT. Essentially, his name was Kane Warren, and I trained with him in Total Fitness in Edge Lane, and he could see how much I loved it. And he challenged me in regards to, do you want to carry on actually with your degree, or do you actually want to pursue a career in this? There's a new facility opening in the docks in Liverpool, and that's where it all started. I started working for a company called Elite Fitness Consultants, and a lot of awesome trainers who are still smashing this industry right now come out of that place. If I can think of a few off the top of my head, Tom Routley, Lee Plant, Chris Redmond, like Lewis Bailey went and done his own thing, Kane Warren, and Ashley Lucas have got their own thing in the unit where I grew up in. Natasha Dawn was a coach for a little bit. I'm not too sure if she still does it. And like a lot of well-established coaches around the Northwest come from that company. And it was a really cool way to be introduced into the industry. I got hammered with education right from the start. I was not allowed to ask Kane a question without having an answer to the question. I do think that's something lacking within the industry, is our inability to think and our inability to try and solve problems, which is what our job is problem solving. And that's how I learned how to learn, essentially. We didn't have ChatGPT and Claude and all that. What we had was textbooks, the internet, and where you had to ask questions into Google to then figure out the answer. We read articles, we went on courses, and hence why me and Nathan have started AN Education, which is a mentorship, and it's going to be launching its AN Hub, which is a membership group, because we think it's vitally important for education to be the forefront of coaches. It's not just about Instagram reels and fucking CapCut and all this shit. It's about actually being good at your job. And that's what I'm really passionate about. And as I said at the start, my passion's training. And what I want to take you through in this YouTube channel is my belief, my thought process when it comes to training, why I think certain people should be doing things one way and other people should be doing things another way, and a bit of an insight into how I think essentially when it comes to writing programs, execution, setup of machines, exercises. So when you're all watching this, you can then improve your own execution. You can then improve your own training programs to get the most out of the least. I'm also very fortunate to be working with a company called Full Bore Sports as an educator on there, where again I get to pass on my knowledge And I used to be 65 kilos, and now I pushed all the way up to 105. I'm now currently around about 96, and I'm dieting for a show. It might be 95 actually. I'm dieting for a show, so I've put on muscle mass, so I'm proof of what I talk about works. And it's not just about eating food and eating loads of food. I do believe it's how you train is going to really indicate what muscles are going to grow. And this is why, again, I really like to double down on training and double down on the execution elements of things. So guys, that's going to be an insight into my YouTube channel. I like to have a laugh. I don't like to take things too seriously. I like to have fun, but at the same time, when we are training, the set is the set, and that you have to focus for that set, and you want to get the most, and we want to make progression. That's the key thing. It's like everybody who loves to train wants to make progress. We want to get bigger, we want to get leaner, we want to get stronger. And I do believe the methodologies in which I've learned over the years, working with some of the greatest minds in this industry, has given me a really good blueprint for that to happen. I hope you all enjoy anything in which I talk about, and if you've got any questions or you want to have a bit of a debate, happily do so, because I like to learn also. I like for my thought processes to be challenged, because I think that's how we learn and develop. And again, I'm fed up with these people being in like everyone in this industry now being you're in this crowd or this crowd, and you believe their own ways, but they're not open-minded to a conversation. Because I've done reverse banding, I've not done reverse banding, I've loaded prime on 3, I've loaded prime on 1, and I've got my own experience, as I said, with clients who've done what I've said, and I've seen results from that, and they don't get injuries, and the muscles they want to grow. And again, this is really, really important element of coaching, physique development, which is something that I specialise in, is physique development and getting people from A to B in the best way possible. I've also really started to delve down into like the nervous system management and autonomic nervous system, and trying to get into a parasympathetic state. Like, I'm sure a lot of coaches who are listening to this, and anybody who's listening to this, can really relate to being stressed all the time and overwhelmed and not know how to regulate that. And myself personally, over like the last 3 or 4 years, I've had a therapist, and I didn't have anything specifically that I went to the therapist to address. It was more just understanding myself more as an individual. And one of the key things that we've worked on is being the ability to slow myself down, to actually regain my thoughts, and to actually think about being present a lot more often. And that's why I'm a big fan of meditating. That's why I'm a big fan of breathing exercises. I'll talk about this a lot within my content as well, especially when I do YouTube videos in regards to training and how I like to make sure I'm breathing after I finish my session, just to try and regulate that nervous system. Now, look, yes, you can go down a rabbit hole with all of this stuff, but I do believe it works. I do believe staying on top of these things really, really does have a positive impact, not just on your results from a physique standpoint, but your results from just a mindset standpoint and a quality of life. So that's a little bit of insight into me. I do have a staffy as well, but the staffy is a week away on some boot camp training to be taught to go off lead. So you will be seeing my staffy in the videos as well. He is my best friend. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see loads of photos of him. He got done dirty on a photo. I don't know if I can show you on the screen now. I'll try and show it on. If not, I'll just put up in the top left hand corner here. He got done dirty on a photo by the trainer today, because he's normally everyone says he's a good looking dog, and he looks absolutely horrendous in this photo. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Hope you all enjoyed the YouTube. If you are interested in any coaching from myself, please hit the link that's in the description below, and we can have a conversation about how I can help you not just improve your own knowledge in regards to apply to your clients, but how I can take your physique from one place to another, applying what I've learned over the last 13 years.